Hey friends, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half acre homestead, and today we're making multi-grain bread with Sam. This guy is a beast. Now, I have put my dough hook on, and it tells me that I'm not going to be able to knead the dough with bread using this hook any higher than 2. So, what I have here is my multigrain mix. You can make this simpler, but I really want to make this bread pop for Papa to get him back into eating homemade bread with multigrain. So we've got the multigrain mix, powdered milk, instant, flour, salt, sugar, yeast, butter, and 2 cups of hot water, which are going right into this right now, because this bowl is stainless and it's going to be cold, so it's going to take some of the heat off the water, and that just kind of makes it perfect. Then we're going to drop in the butter, maybe a tablespoon or 2, a couple of tablespoons of sugar. This is a bigger recipe. Okay, so my water and everything's in there, and we're going to just lift our bowl up, locking it into place. This dough hook is not to be used at any speed higher than 2. So first we go to stir, just so that we can get the sugar and the butter and everything all together. And look, you can't lift this up when it's on. Wonder if this is how this works. Okay, so now I'm just going to drop my yeast in there. We have our salt, our sugar. See how well you can see that? Okay. It really doesn't matter how much. We're not measuring. Why? Because we're going to go by the consistency of the dough. So first things first, I'm going to start adding flour. Well, I like this. Now remember, I used 2 cups. Oh, I like that. All right, and now I'm going to throw in about a 1/4 cup of, half a cup of instant powdered milk. Now folks, these are my frozen eggs, and they don't look wonderful or anything, and you don't thaw them out. If you're going to thaw them out overnight in your fridge, or just before you use them by setting it in warm water. And I've just snipped off the corner of the bag, and I'm just squeezing it like icing right into. This is 2 large eggs. You can get away with 1. And I'm going to continue to add flour. And then we're going to check our consistency and then start adding grain. Now, I honestly haven't seen how much flour I've put in here, but I want to show you. I don't even know if I've used that correctly. I really haven't looked it up. But we can't run this without the basket being down unless we take the basket off, which I don't want to do. I've been known for sticking my hands in things. Okay, so I'm just going to add, so I'm going to say 1 cup to 1.5 cups of my multigrain mix. And we're going to see where that takes us. Now I'm going to go from 2. It still looks pretty gooey, but I can see I can see the consistency, so I'm gonna bring it up to 2. And if I need more flour, I will add it. But I'm gonna let this go for about 5 minutes. Now folks, don't use your dough hook or knead dough any higher than 2 on this commercial KitchenAid, okay? One of the reasons that you don't use your dough hook for dough at any speed higher than the number 2 setting is because those gears at that setting are the optimum size and speed for using a heavy dough. If you switch it up to a faster speed, the gears are probably smaller and you're actually going to do some damage. So please, folks, pay attention to your settings. When you first put it all in there, this is why I don't go by measurement, I go by consistency. And that's really still wet. So I'm going to add another probably 1.5 cups of flour. And we're just going to let this knead. On 2, no higher. That's more like it. Well, that didn't take 5 minutes at all. Let's have a look. It's a little on the heavy side, but then it is multigrain, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove my dough hook. This handle on here is the way you take this off, just like this. See? The whole thing comes off. Now, let me just see. I would like it a little stickier than that. Yeah, that's really heavy. I wonder, well, we'll see, won't we? Oh, a little bit of avocado oil in there. And I'm just going to toss this around so that the oil coats it all and it doesn't stick to the bowl. And we're going to cover that with a tea towel and we'll see. My oven, I turned it on warm, which is 100 degrees, and I've turned it off. And this is going in until hopefully it doubles in bulk. Okay, let's see how our multigrain bread dough did. Oh, beautiful. Perfectly doubled in bulk. I was worried because it was heavy. So I'm going to take my tablecloth here and look at that. Oh, I love you, Sam. We're just going to take our loaf pan lined with parchment. And now I'm just going to roll this dough. Oh, I think I might need more than one pan. And then I'm just going to take this one, put it in the other one. And I'm just going to cut it in half. Yeah, this is definitely not a loaf and a half. This is definitely a 2-loaf recipe. I hope you folks were counting as I measured. All right, I'm just going to press these down in here, and we're just going to cover these and let them rise. Our bread has risen to almost double in bulk, and it's going to go into a 350-degree oven for 40 minutes. Okay, our timer has gone off. Oh my goodness. And here is our beautiful multigrain bread. Oh. Yes, I should have put the seams on the bottom. Now I'm just going to cover these with the same tablecloth, and this will soften the crusts. Unless you like them really, really crusty. You could also butter the crust, but just by putting a cloth over them, it will soften the crusts, probably within the next half hour. Okay. See what I mean when I say you put the, it's still got some crust. I'm just gonna, sorry folks, I'm married to a left-handed man, so you're not actually seeing me slice. All right, let's give Papa a nice, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. All right, we're going to butter that, and we'll take it over to Papa with his supper. Okay, darling, this video is not about supper.
It's about the bread.
It's about the bread. That's not just everyday chicken and rice, so. That's multigrain bread.
Awesome.
Is it good? Okay, good.
Might have to have a piece with some jelly on it later.
What's that?
I might have to have some with jelly later.
Okay. Didn't have to yell. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying, Sam, welcome home. Recipe number 1, multigrain bread. Take care. God bless.